Sadhguru, you said about life, and that brings a big question what doctors have about life. Now they say we have 1 trillion cells in our body, and each of these cells is living by itself. And when you say a patient is no more, it's just that the brain dies after 2 or 3 minutes, but still a large part of his body is still alive.
That has changed now. Doctors are saying the brain lives for over 10 hours. Today, the new…
So he is dead, but the brain is living. His skin, his muscles, his bones live for many hours. So we have said he is dead, but a large part of his body is still alive. So, and these cells, even when after the patient is dead, you take these cells and…
Those of you who are all shaving every day, even after you're dead, we still have to shave you, you know this.
Yeah, the hat grows.
That is why I'm ready, you know. Now, you asked why if somebody is dead, still some of the cells are active. It has been recorded up to 10 hours, there is a lot of activity, and actually the brain goes into a certain level of activity and produces certain very surprising elements in 10 hours after somebody is medically dead. As I said, dead bodies are given a shave up to 10, 11 days. Why this is so? What we're calling as life physically is a mechanism on many different levels. There is hardware and there is software. You are core of hardware, bones. The software is equally important. Otherwise, how would a cell know that it's a human cell? That it is not a pig cell or a tree cell or something else? How does it know? Because there is an entire software, there is memory, evolutionary memory, genetic memory, karmic memory, there are varieties of memories imposed on every cell in the system so that it never gets confused. If you eat dog food for 3 days, you will not become a dog, isn't it? Because the memory is entrenched in this. So there is a whole software. The software package is actually bigger than the hardware, much bigger. And it is energized by what we are considering as a life force. In yoga, we call this prana. It manifests itself in 5 basic dimensions. There are other forms to it, which gets too complicated. 5 basic forms. These are called pranavayu, samanavayu, apanavayu, udanavayu and vyana. These have different functions. Prana is related to breath, respiratory action and thought process. If the pranavayu depletes, your respiratory action will go away. So immediately doctor checks and says, he's dead. They'll try to pump their chest. If he doesn't come back, he's dead. Respiration and your pulmonary action are very directly connected. Once respiration stops, that process will naturally come to an end. So pranavayu is gone. It's not like one after another they will go. They will go at the same time, but one goes means this is gone. If samanavayu goes, this is in charge of generating heat in the system. So once samanavayu starts receding, the body starts getting cold and it also starts becoming stiff. Once apanavayu starts receding in a major way, then the sensory aspect of it, we must understand this. You may check somebody's breath and declare them dead, but they can still feel sensations. There have been any number of cases where people get terrified because a dead body moves a little bit. This has happened again and again, many times. That when he's been medically declared dead, there are twitchings in the body that happen in a very mild way because the sensory activity is still on. Still, life is not fully convinced that it's finished. It is still making an effort of its own. When udhanavayu goes away, then the buoyancy is gone. When I say buoyancy, see, you may weigh 70 or 80 or whatever number of… maybe you weigh 50 or 55 kilograms, whatever is your weight, you don't… let's say you're very happy and alive right now, you don't feel 50 kilograms on you, isn't it? Hello? It is there. If you stand on the scale, it is there. But when you walk, it is not there, simply because this udana creates a buoyancy. It makes you less available to gravity. There are yogic practices to activate this. There's a whole school of Udan in China, where you might have seen those movies, Hollywood movies, what is that? Crouching Tiger, something, what? Yes. So these are Udan schools where they have mastery over Udana, where they can float around a little bit. Well, little exaggerated in the movies, but becomes lighter, more buoyant body. For a martial arts fighter, to be buoyant is important. There have been many cases where certain ballet dancers and martial arts experts have shown what is physically not possible they have done by leaping up to heights which all physicists believe is simply impossible. But they've gone beyond that level simply by creating more buoyancy. So Udana is in charge of buoyancy. Once Udana starts receding, suddenly body becomes heavy. Always it was the same weight. Weight does not increase, but you can feel the weight much more simply because Udana is gone. This, doctors may know, maybe doctors don't do it, the people who work in the hospitals may know, carrying a live person and a dead person, there's a big difference. Simply because Udana is gone, there's no buoyancy. The fourth dimension is called Vyana. This is preservative in nature. If Vyana recedes, even when you're alive, body will begin to rot. There are certain types of snake venoms which can do this. If they bite you, you will not die, but literally parts of the body will start falling apart simply because Vyana will recede and it will start falling apart. So, once Vyana recedes, the rotting process will begin. There are systems in yoga where we want all the seven to go reasonably together, within 1.5 hours we want it to go. In normal death, depending upon the age of a person, how vibrant a particular body is, it may take a long time. When I say long time, up to 14 hours it may take. Vyana may take up to 14 days to leave. This is the reason why in this culture you have rituals running up to 14 days, because they feel the Vyana may be still there, because when you bury a person, the Vyana may be still hovering there, so up to 14 days. That is the reason why within 1.5 hours, in this in this culture that was the rule, if somebody dies within an hour and a half, you must cremate them. But then mistakes happened. When they were still alive, somebody put them on the funeral pyre, so they stretched it to 4 hours. Within 4 hours, you must cremate. But today, there are issues, all kinds of issues about it. So, people are waiting for 1 day, 2 days, daughter is in America, she has to come, she'll come after 3 days, and they will wait. But the idea is, for the one who is dead, we must understand this. You don't diagnose people as dead, you declare them dead, right? There's a difference. So when you declare them dead, for you they are dead. As far as that person is concerned, in a way, all that's happened is, he's disembodied. He's lost his body. All his life he lived thinking he's a body, never realizing the physical mass that we carry is an accumulation from this planet. He never realized that. When suddenly he slips out the body, he tends to hover around the body because he's lost his discriminatory intelligence. Once you leave the body, the discriminatory intellect is not there, so this tends to hover around that body. So in this culture we said, the moment we are sure that somebody is dead for sure, you must immediately cremate them, because it's good for that dead, so they know the game is up. And it's also good for the living. You will see, if somebody very dear to you is dead and their body is here, you keep on hallucinating, maybe they're just sleeping, maybe they will sit up, maybe some miracle will happen, maybe something else will happen, this will go on unnecessarily. You will see people are crying and big emotional drama is happening, but the moment you cremate them, you will see everybody become silent. Have you noticed this? Always. Because now everybody knows the game is up. It's for the living and for the dead. So about life leaving the system, it is so entrenched. It is not something, poop, it'll go away like this. In stages, it goes away. Because it's in stages, it came in. It's in stages, it'll go away.